We all understand the type of climate that we're dealing with. We're dealing with multiple offer situations.
I'd love to know sort of what's your why? What makes you tick? Why are you so successful?
Have a dialogue with your lawyer. Have a dialogue with your agent.
Both sort of passionate about sort of what we do.
Again, vet your agent to make sure that they're experienced and they're local. I like that idea.
No excuse to miss it on Saturdays from 8 to 9.
That's right.
WBZ.
And now, the show that gives you the latest and most relevant housing market news. Real Estate Radio Boston with financial expert Rick Shearer and legal professional Ali Alavi.
I know that the focus of the company is on smaller residential projects. And you and I have had this discussion before. Are there plans currently for the company to offer financing for commercial projects?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have we've done a couple commercial projects in the past, 16-unit residential building, small mixed-use building, but actually our first project that we'll be doing in Boston is a mixed-use commercial over in East Boston.
Wow.
We're stepping heavy into the commercial realm now.
Doug, what's the typical hold time, or what's the typical loan term that you'll give to a developer?
Sure. Typical is 12 months, interest only, no prepaid penalties. So if you get your job done in 6-8 months, you're in and out of the loan and you're on to your next project. We're here to, really support our borrowers and help their business grow. That's the biggest thing for us, is we want to develop a relationship with our borrowers to, a guy who's doing maybe 3 or 4 flips a year. We want to help them develop his business and, double or triple their business in a year. I'm from Boston.
Yeah, you're a Boston guy.
And I'm a Boston guy, and without the accent. I was reaching out to people that I knew who were in alternative lending, and I reached out to them because I want to work with them. It's not about competing with them. We want to help the local guys. A lot of the local guys, they have great connections, but they have limited capital, and we're here to help support them and their businesses as well, and their borrowers, and help develop their relationships with their borrowers by being able to provide more access to capital.
You're always at the forefront, and I think that's very important when you're dealing with buyers and sellers.
Right. Real estate is a very competitive industry. There's a lot of real estate agents out there, and sometimes I'm up against 5 other agents competing for the same listing, and we all generally do the same things to get the properties out, to the masses, but I want to be the one that does that much more.
One of the most wonderful things about this show that's allowed both Rick and I to do is to really get a wide array of different agents, and all of which are successful in their own sort of geographic area in their own way. And a common denominator has always been trust and honesty. And that's what I think you've accomplished that very, very well. To the point, you have a really interesting story.
Just before closing, one of the half of the couple got in touch with me and said, I want to propose to my girlfriend, right after closing. So,
wow.
Can you help us, help get my mother into the condo before, we get the keys at the end of the day, so that she can help set up a table with flowers and a champagne on ice. And, as soon as we get back from closing and get the keys, I'm going to propose to her.
That is so cool.
So I planned out where I said, I'm not going to go to the closing. Sorry, I have a conflict. I felt really bad about it, but I helped the mother, and I met with him a few hours later, and I knew he was just going to walk in and propose to her right away. So I was so nervous.
What an awesome
I didn't
story.
want to walk in.
What is some of the advice that you see yourself giving them over and over again to set them up for a successful transaction?
Well, I really believe, from my experience working with buyers, and you learn something every day in this business, and everyone's different. Set them up with the team that you as the real estate agent trust, the lender, the loan officer, attorney, home inspector, or at least be able to have the right suggestions to connect them with,
sure,
in an attempt to create a really positive, smooth transaction, which they may not know what to expect. They probably don't know what to expect. Even if they're a second-time home buyer, if they haven't bought a property in a while,
right,
they have no idea,
it's totally changed.
about all the nuances.
buyers really ought to understand what the community has to offer them before they commit to a particular town. Something I don't think that Rick and I, you and I wouldn't have thought about it.
No idea.
And it's such an important thing. Tell us a little bit about what you're thinking there.
Well, when you're looking at a town, and whether you are a single person, a single mom, a single dad, or you're both working parents, you want to make sure that there's a support system for your children. And something is available in the morning before they go to school, and then after school, and then whatever programs are available in the community at libraries or whatever art programs they may have, music programs. So it's really important to look at all of those things.
What is the current trends that you're seeing as far as housing is concerned?
Well, the biggest trend right now, I think, is for buyers. They are looking for getting into a house that's almost just ready to move in.
Right.
They want it all.
Turnkey.
They want it all. They want that roof. They want that new heating, air conditioning system. They want to be able to put their furniture in and just move right in.
Right.
So they don't want to deal with any improvements themselves.
Not so much. On the other hand, there are those that will take on a project.
Do you find that existing residents in those towns are contemplating downsizing? And if they are, what are some of the advice that you have to offer them?
Well, it's funny because I'm sort of at that point myself.
Got
it. You really want to talk to people about what are they looking for when they're downsizing.
Sure.
A lot of people are moving to North Carolina, South Carolina these days because of the winter we had.
Right.
Sure.
So, I think it's important. Do you want a 50-plus community where they cater to people over 50?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want a smaller house? Do you want something that you don't necessarily have to walk far? If you're in a town such as Medfield and you want to stay in Medfield, then you want to be close to the downtown area to walk there.
Right.
Gotcha.
So location, location.